Alright. So let's jump in to Dosen's tale. A tale from the past. In days past, a young Dosen was sent to Tabriz to deal with the bandits who had put the clan's future at risk.
It was, 50 years ago that I paid a visit to that fortress outside Tabriz. The only place on Earth where the plants that make our tattoo ink will bloom. We had struck a deal with some bandits. We would watch over their exports to the east, and in return, they would guard our plants. But in time, they learned of the true value of the plants, and like vermin, they turned on us. The clan sent me there to straighten them out.
Alright, so, hidden path. I still remember the taste of the dust. So, Path of Wisdom. You have a non-lethal takedown and can carry more of each of your items. However, you have no sword. You can't use Firesight and focus will not stop time. So, basically, you know, I'm Dosen.
I never carried a sword. It was pride, really. Back then, I could bring down anyone with my bare hands.
Design commentary. For this level, I'm actually going to explain the step-by-step process that we went through to build a Mark of Nature level, strictly from a level design perspective. There's a complicated environment art process that also needs to be done, and for the special edition level, our lead environment artist, Megan Shaw, did everything. So even though this rundown might seem complicated, there's a whole other pile of work that needs to be done in parallel to all the level design work. For the main game, I built about half of the levels, and Jason Dredger did the other half, with Jamin Chen helping out the bits here and there. Jamie did a majority of the awesome final level on the main game, for the instance. Okay, with no further ado, the rest of the commentary will be step-by-step walkthrough of our level design process. So, yeah, this is like a special level here. Down he goes. Down he goes. So technically I'm not killing anyone, which is a nice little change, I guess, from, you know, the gameplay of the other one. Alright, I've got to... Yeah, notice I don't stop time like I do with, like, you know, the other ninja. Unconscious enemies can be revived by their allies, so keep that in mind. So dust mobs. A cloud of insects that blocks target lights and disables struck enemies.
Dust moths. Perfect for creating shadows without arousing suspicion.
That's what he said. Alright, so, seals. Knock out an enemy after stunning them with dust mobs. Arm 2 of the fortress traps without being seen. And use a suspended block trap to terrify a bandit. Okay. Maybe I'll try and get these seals. The first thing we do is answer, what is this level about? We come up with the gameplay concept the level is going to emphasize, how it fits in the game's story, what enemies and hazards might the level have, etc. Also, we consider what the player goal in the level will be, beyond just move left to right. With this special edition level, we knew it was going to be in the ruins world, in terms of progress. So what defined the elements we would be working with? Then I drew a rough paper sketch of the level, which I reviewed with the artist. Then I created a more detailed paper version, roughly defining all the encounter spaces. That was reviewed again with the artist. After that, I fire up our level editor, which we call the Shanker due to our originally being used to create levels for our previous game Shank, and start to make level for real. Well, off we go. Whoopsie. I did a dust moth thing. Well, there's that one done.
Nothing.
Okay, so dust moths only last so long, I have to keep that in mind.
What was that?
Yeah, this is like how I terrify someone, I guess. I want to get this guy's attention.
Must have been wind. I think I heard something.
That should get both their attention. Whoops, now they're both under it. I don't necessarily want them both to die to a spike trap.
What was that?
Okay, that worked. There we go. Alright, so arm 2 of the fortress traps without being seen is another one. Oh good, this one stays up.
Don't
that
let him
wrong?
get away.
Down he goes. Ooh. 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 Yes. Yes. That's how you kill guards. Alright, let's get that. Go a little bit further.
The tunnels were shrouded in lantern smoke and shadow. Stand still too long, and you would feel the scorpions picking at your toes.
There's a trap. Down he goes.
That wasn't the wind. Why did this break?
Down he goes.
Hey!
Down he went.
Ugh, little monkey. You reach for the highest plum, but your grip is weak.
Blah. Can I hide the bodies inside of these, I wonder? Let's go see. Guess not. Now that we have a concept, I start laying down platforms. Basically the plane where the player moves, not the background or the foregrounds. For this special edition level, Megan provided me with a few template structures and spaces. Between those and some bits from the previous levels, I've roughed out the level space. At this point, I'm just working with the platforms, no enemies or hazards. Some levels were built by making smaller portions of each level more complete. I do find this approach sometimes a bit challenging though, as it's hard to judge the level's overall flow and the pacing that way. It is something I know I should try to find a better balance with in the future, after I did a first pass on the level's layout, with just platform art. I do a quick sanity check with the environment artist to make sure I haven't created an weird, impossible, otherwise gross spaces. Well, as after I drop this on top of this guy, will he be terrorized? That might terrorize him. Another guy down here, apparently. Alright, well, we're done here. One of the first pass of the platforms has been done. Or once the first pass of the platforms has been done, we need to lay down collision underneath all those platforms. Collision is how the game engine understands where the ground is, where the player can stand on, which platform we jump through from the beneath, etc. Once this is done, it's possible to run from one end to the level to the other. And I do just just to make sure now the spaces feel change or are natural to navigate. Fungal spores creates a suffocating cloud. Fallen enemies become infected, and anyone who approaches will cause the spores to rupture again.
We discovered the fungus the first time we came to the breeze. In the right hands, it's deadly and contagious. The plants grew in an ancient conservatory. But to reach them, I had to sneak through the old fortress where the bandits were hidden.
The next step is the longest and most complicated by a wide margin. It's time to build all the levels encounters. This means adding enemies, hazards, and objectives. This is a highly iterative process, and there isn't a ton of hard logic behind it. I wish I had some magic formula for how to make an interesting ninja encounter. It would make the levels much easier to build. But all I really do is look at the composition of the space, which areas the enemies will be controlled with the vision cones and patrolling, looking at what navigation options the player has, where they can hide, etc. Then it's just iterate. Sometimes platforms will get changed and move around during the process. Occasionally the physical space changes a lot. The ruined fortress building at the center of the special edition level was originally about 1/3 of its final size, and I ended up expanding it to the current sizes to emphasize the 3 different wings. Also, part of this is setting up the objectives, like having to arm all 3 sets of traps, and such. Finally, I add all the checkpoints in the level, which again is very iterative and informed by the playing the level and playtesting it with the others. If someone dies and they roll their eyes in frustration at how far back they were sent, it's time to add another checkpoint.
It was built centuries ago by some Shah or other. Every hallway was filled with traps, and those bandits didn't know about half of them. But I did. I knew where to find the 3 levers that armed the traps. The first would reactivate a bunch of old gunpowder bombs.
Alright, gunpowder bombs.
The second would fill all the fortress's narrow spaces with spikes.
Alright, that was just horrible how it just sort of like, quickly...
Finally, a trigger at the top of the fortress would cause the old fixtures and climbing points to collapse.
As a general design rule, by the way, you shouldn't make people motion sickness. I'm not generally going to get motion sickness from game, but I kind of did this here. Quite a bit. Drop that guy there, I guess. Now what did these hit? Crap, so that does kill you. Well, that's good to know. Okay, diesel trigger those, I guess. Hold left shift to climb quickly across the ceiling.
The floors gave way below me. Knives flew by my ankles. I can't believe I never once feared I would die.
So yeah, this is something I know about the special edition. You have lots of these, like, type of traps.
What kind of a madman needs this much security? It's not for me to question a Shah.
Well, here's the gunpowder. So, arm 2 of the fortress traps without being seen. That's one of Seal's here. Crap. Did I get hit behind those? Yeah, I'm trying to jump them. It's not very easy to do. There. Finally. That's done. Do. Few bandits in here, I guess. Alright, that worked. Whoops.
We got him! We will find you. I know I heard something around here. It's clear.
Wow, it's a lot of guys over here.
No sign of him here. Hey, he's here!
Damn. Huh, I figured that would have shown me it there a little bit, but whatever.
Closer. Get closer. He got someone! What? He's here!
Alright, well I got the tech there somehow. Let's distract these bodies out of the way. I like hiding bodies. It's fun. There we go.
He'll be back.
Okay, we'll do that. Good, that counts as not being detected. I didn't mean to do that, but whatever, it still worked. There we go. Arm 2 of the fortress traps out being seen.
Yes. Come. Hey, hey! It's him!
Well, that was stupid. Ouch. And there was one right there too, okay, so... I figured there'd be one right there.
Hey, we have him. I hear something.
There we go. Alright, well, trying to toss the body in there is stupid, I guess.
Hey, it's him!
Oh, good. So you can still die from long falls. And that's a long fall all the way down here. I didn't even have to come in here, apparently. That's stupid of me. Oh well, whatever. Where do I need to go? Over here is, I guess, where I have to go now. So... this way?
That fortress had stopped the worst armies the world could throw at it. But I just slipped right through.
You cannot hide forever. No trace.
Ow.
Someone is down.
There we go, they're down. Oh, you really have to watch out for the vents. Whee! No point going out here, I guess. Okay, so I got a couple guys both ways here.
Did I hear something? Nothing.
Whee! Slippery slope. You know what this does? So I get more points for spiking people to death, apparently.
The last trap was armed. It was time to infiltrate the conservatory.
He must be somewhere else.
I guess we'll do this now and find out what it does. Terrorize. So down here I go, I guess. During the encounter building phase, I usually just set up some basic cameras. Once the encounters are a bit more put together, I'll go through and add proper cameras. While it may seem simple, setting up good camera framing is actually tremendously important to making a ninja level feel playable. If the camera's frame is half full of some wall while the player can't see the enemies up ahead, it's not fun at all. We have several different types of cameras with customizable offsets, anchor points, zoom levels, and such. This is also a very iterative process, trying to out different framings and such, until it feels like you can really see everything you need to. Alright, let's go this way, I guess.
One has fallen. We're coming for you. Hey, it's him.
Well, I did that wrong, but whatever. Okay, how do I do this without dying?
You only climb high because your hard monkey skull won't crack in a fall.
I'll die if I go out here. Just to throw that out there. There are also optional level features that have to be added. That includes placing the scroll and the artifact points hidden objects, setting the scoring tiers for the level, and actually working on the special edition level. I forgot the formula. I used the core levels and had to reverse engineer it. Oops, probably should have written it down. And designing and implementing the level seals, optional objectives. The work involved in any of these varies quite a bit from level to level. Some seals might take 5 minutes to implement, and some might take 5 hours, and even 5 days before it's bug-free and reliable. The level's major checkpoints, the ones that restore items and have those large raven markers, are also need to be designated and set up. The conservatory.
There, in the conservatory, the chief had stationed his best, bravest men. I would leave them a gibbering, terrified mess. I had a choice. Terrify the chief's men, but leave them alive to tell the story. No doubt with great exaggeration. Or let the fear spread with blood and precision, leaving just a few terrified survivors.
So after you're complete one of the following: terrify 5 bandits, or kill or knock out all the bandits on the observatory. Alright, well, that's interesting. Kill or knock out all the bandits in the conservatory. Do I want to terrify them or do I want to knock them out?
roofs were tiled with old slates all overgrown with brambles. I could drop them on the bandits and leave them stunned. And if any of their friends saw, I knew they would run off in terror.
I heard something.
Whoops.
Nothing. What's the wind? Must have been wind.
Yeah, you can hang guards to cause terror if they see the stuff.
It always made me sad when I hung a body in front of his own comrades. Sad when they saw he was gone. And sadder when they were too scared to care.
What was that?
Down he goes. That apparently doesn't count as killing him there. Odd.
Hey, we have him!
Slippery slope.
He got someone! Are you out there? He's dead.
One or two almost got away. But I
He's
always
around here
cleaned up
somewhere.
my own mess.
Maybe he fled. Someone is down. He's gone. He's hit.
Alright, well. 6 more to go. This really should kill him, but whatever.
When your fur turns gray, that light, brave heart will leave you. Mock death while you can.
Where to go now? Three more to go. One more. Where might he be?
Hey, he. Don't let him.
That was the last of them. Time to go back. Down the torturous secret roads that led home.
So return to the clan. Guess we go this way. Finally, there's a handful of small visual and audio things that need to be set up. Each of the event areas needs to have texture covers added to them that get revealed when the player enters the event. Each service platform in the level also needs to be tagged with the right sound material, so that footfalls make the appropriate sound, wood versus stone versus metal. Finally, each space in the game needs to be tagged for a reverb region, so that tight, cramped spaces have a different sound, reverberation profile than larger, more open spaces. It seemed like a small detail, but it makes a big difference in making the spaces feel distinct and more real. And that's a very, very step-by-step process of how levels are built. Again, that's leaving out a tremendous portion of the work done by the environmental artists. It also understates how iterative the process is and how many different things we try, change, throw away, and tweak before the levels come together. And that's only possible because our programmers built us an amazing level editor and continue to add features to it to help us be more effective, without which all this would simply be impossible. Without question, building Ninja levels is the most challenging thing I've done in my design career, but watching people play them is also the most rewarding. Thank you very much for reading this, and hopefully it was interesting, and thank you for supporting our games, and let us keep doing what we want to do without compromise, making great games. And there's days long past.
It was done. I had delivered a message to the chief and, well, we never had trouble with him again. I returned to the clan satisfied. The years passed, and I became curious about the ink that I had saved. I studied it and mastered its use. Nobody knows more of its secrets than I do, and nobody here values it more. The fate of the clan rests in those drops, and I will do whatever it takes to ensure our future.
Well, that's basically it for A Tale from the Past. Ooh, nice, I got the, everything for that. Comparatively, that's a much easier level than, the previous ones. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed Marketing Ninja. That's basically going to be it, so take care.